This is how the human mind works. When you're walking through a forest, you don't think too much. You just let the silence surround you, feel the soft breeze, and hear the branches crack under your feet. It's in our nature to yearn for such scenery, no matter how much we thrive in busy, concrete-soaked cities. Forests are always welcoming and refreshing to us. The air is clear and crisp, and daylight plays hide and seek through the tall branches. It's inspiring and beautiful. Sometimes, though, as you walk along your path, your mind begins to focus on small things. Noises, gusts of wind, shadows in the trees. Such silence can be both welcoming and unsettling. It depends on how you view it. Forests are double-sided coins. They hide you away from the tiring city landscape but expose you to another environment. You're not in control anymore because this is not your home. You can lie to yourself and build a house there, but you don't belong in a forest. You're merely a visitor. That's national parks for you. An illusion of being in control. The fake freedom you feel when you walk on those marked paths and camp in the square assigned to you. When you think the silence around you is peaceful, even that silence is an illusion. Visit a forest again. Even when it's silent, is it really? It's not. Complete, absolute silence means death. Fear it. My father taught me that. He's a park ranger and has been doing this job since forever. I wasn't much of a fan of national parks, especially because most of the time there's no service and the hikes were killing me. I'd rather enjoy nature by swimming in a lake or skiing. Why break your legs climbing to a high point just to see a random valley? Not to mention the animals. They were everywhere, and the insects always got on my nerves. I never understood his love for the forest. I guess that was one of the reasons he started telling me scary stories from his night shift. Looking back, they were obviously made up, but to younger me, they seemed believable. I used to think he was so brave for working nights. As I got older, I got into horror, and even if I didn't believe in his forest creatures anymore, I still like the idea of spending the night in a small cabin in the middle of nowhere, just for that dose of adrenaline. When my father said he wanted to take me with him, I accepted immediately. I knew why he offered. Over the past few years, our relationship had taken a big hit. I guess I was growing up, and he didn't know how to handle that. He'd become emotionally distant and seemed to repel any of my attempts to open up to him. In return, I'd grown uninterested and irritable. In my mother's words, this would have been a fun way to bond, I guess. We arrived at the park around 9 p.m. His shift started at 10 p.m. and ended at 6 a.m. His jeep pierced through the darkness and ventured into the woods. The headlights flashed across the trees, turning them ghostly white against the black sky. I'd never been on this route, but then again, my visits to the park were rare. We drove for a while, Most people underestimate the size of national parks. It took us an hour and a half to get to the cabin, which wasn't even in the heart of the forest. I saw it. A single trace of humanity in the middle of nowhere. A tiny wooden cabin with flickering light bulbs and guard dogs. Before we got out of the car, my father stopped me. Listen, there are some instructions you need to follow here. I know it might seem unimportant, but they're crucial. Then, he handed me a piece of paper, a list of handwritten rules. At first, they were ordinary. Don't go out alone in the park, don't leave food out, etc. I thought the rest of the rules had been put there just to freak me out. Dad, I'm not 12 anymore. You can freak me out with this shit. I'm not trying to. You wanted to come here with me, so act accordingly. What even is this? If you see a man without an arm, don't help him? We have all kinds of weirdos around here. And this? If the whistling is near you, it means that they're far? My father smiled, but his eyes didn't. Some of these are added by superstitious fellows. It's more of a what if. It's not gonna happen to you. So here's the rules. First, don't go out alone in the park. Always have a working contact device. Second, don't leave marked paths unless instructed to, and or with proper equipment. Third, don't leave food out and lock the trash bins. Fourth, always keep on the whistle and the badge. Fifth, if you see a man without an arm, don't help him. Sixth, your family is not in here. Remember, there is no reason for you to hear their voices from outside. 7. Lock your car doors, even when you are driving. 8. Check the marks on the trees. There are only 3 types: red, yellow, and green triangles. Other marks are not ours. Don't follow them. 9th, if the whistling is near you, it means they're far. If it's far away, it means they're near. Lastly, beware of dead blue. What is dead blue? I ask. My father sighed. You know when you're out in the woods, when you think what you hear is silence, but you realize there are dozens of sounds around you. Birds, crickets, leaves rustling. Yeah. That's because there's no such thing as silence. Absolute silence, never. There's always sound, movement, life. Dead blue is complete and utter silence. That's our code name for it. Deafening silence, unnatural. Right, and when that happens, it won't. But if it does, he paused, staring at the steering wheel. Then his head turned toward me. His eyes darted from mine to the window behind me. You live. That being said, he got out of the car, and I followed. The cabin was dusty and cramped. I couldn't understand how he could spend 8 hours in here. He had a small TV, but it wasn't working. A desk and a mini fridge. You sit here all alone? I asked. Yeah. Why? That freak you out? Don't you get bored? Martin's post is 10 minutes away. Sometimes I just drive over. Nothing ever really happens out here anyway. My spot's pretty far from the campsites. I just patrol from time to time to make sure no one wanders off into the night. But that rarely happens. This is one of the wilder areas, less explored. You haven't explored it at all? His eyes sparkled. Wouldn't be possible. So, you don't know what's out there? That's the fun of it. You said you wanted adrenaline? There you go. I nodded. He opened the mini fridge and tossed me some juice. Orange juice. I'd mentioned once that I like this brand, and he'd remember. Maybe our relationship wasn't so bad. We sat next to each other in the small cabin. Dad liked it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Most of the time I'm just asleep. Literally nothing ever happens. So you really didn't see any creatures out there, like the ones you told me about when I was little? I joke. The only creature out there is my manager, and I'd rather face a million cryptids than talk to him. I laugh. I lean into, look out the windows. I can't see anything, just my reflection. Want me to dim the light? Yeah. He did, and the darkness crept inside the tiny cabin. The woods became more prominent, more vivid. The moonlight was unbelievable, and the stars were actually visible compared to the polluted city. The cabin was on a hill, propped up by a tree, with a trapdoor and a ladder leading down to our car. From up here, we could see above the tree line into the valley. We spent the first hours talking. Somewhere around midnight, I began dozing off. I didn't want to, but I caved and fell asleep with my head on the desk. He woke me up. I rubbed my eyes in confusion. What time is it? I got a call from Martin. Right. Who was Martin? I mumbled. The other ranger in the area. He says he got a call from the campsite and someone's missing. We need to go search for him. We? As in us? Yeah. You'll stay in the back seat. I'm on the phone with Martin right now. I could hear Martin's muffled voice through the speaker. Gee, don't take the kid. Why not? He'll stay in the car. Well, it could be one of those nights. We won't get out of the car. You can't guarantee that. Well, I can't leave him here, alone, in the dark. A pause followed. Look, Paul, I understand you wanted to do a take your kid to work day, but I don't know about this one. It could be dangerous. We're literally just going to drive around for a bit. It's fine. Leave him in the cabin. Dad covered the speaker with his hand, so I couldn't hear what Martin said next. His eyes kept darting to the window behind me. He sighed. Martin will come pick me up. You're staying here. Lock in. Turn the lights off and wait for me to return. It's gonna take a minute, and you'll be safe here. What? I'm not staying here alone. What did Martin tell you to change your mind? It doesn't matter. I'll return in half an hour at most. You can go back to sleep if you want, or I can call you and we can talk. I was afraid, truly afraid. I didn't want to show it, especially after I'd complained that nothing interesting happened around there, so I reluctantly agreed. My dad opened the trap door and climbed down the ladder. Then his face disappeared into the darkness. I saw Martin's car pick him up and drive away. Silence followed. I wish I'd been home, in my bed. Instead, I sat stiff in the chair and waited. And waited. I began imagining the worst. What if they'd crash? What if a bear had found them? I didn't want to let my fear get the best of me. But I thought about these legends and the set of rules. I hope the writers were just paranoid. At around 2 a.m., I heard a knock on the trapdoor. My chest tightened. Another knock followed. I wanted to respond, but something in me wouldn't allow me to. Then, I heard my dad's voice.
Kev, open up. It's cold out here.
It echoed through the cabin. My eyes were dry from the lack of sleep, but my mind was fully awake. I stared at the phone, then at a trapdoor.
Kev, open, please. I know you're there. I saw you at the window.
I turned off the light completely. I don't know why I had the urge, but if my dad could see me from the window, anyone could, or anything. And I didn't like being on display like that. You don't have a key? I asked. It locks from the inside. Shit, yeah. How was it? Did you find him? Yeah, we did. He was drunk off his ass. We helped him back to his friends. Could have been a lot worse. As I was talking to him, I searched for the keys in the drawer. It was strange, because I hadn't heard anyone climbing the ladder, or seen Martin's car drive my dad back to the cabin. How did you get here without Martin?
What do you mean? Open up, Kev. I'm freezing.
Answer the question.
He didn't drive me here.
Didn't see any headlights.
They were off, so we wouldn't attract animals.
Bullshit. I pulled out the crumpled piece of paper. Rule number 6. Your family is not in here. Remember, there is no reason for you to hear their voices from outside. My hand shook so badly, I could barely hold the phone. I skimmed through my contacts. Kate F. Connor. Dad. I called him. The phone rang, but no sound came from beneath the trapdoor. My dad picked up.
Everything okay?
In the blinding darkness of the cabin, surrounded by the howling wind, I whispered, Dad, someone out there is pretending to be you. A long pause followed. When he spoke, his voice was trembling.
Don't open. Turn off the lights. Did you turn them off when I told you?
I turned them off now.
No, you should have turned off. Oh, you should have turned them off when I left.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Don't talk to it. Did you talk to it?
Guilt crept up my spine. I didn't know why I lied. I did not.
Good. Stay put. I'm coming after you.
But But what if the thing sees you? You'll have to face it.
You have ways to distract them. It's fine. Don't be scared.
I lied again. I'm not.
Good. I love you. I'm coming.
I wasn't scared for me. I was scared for him. The voice from below continued.
Kev, please open up. Please. It's cold.
I didn't answer. Knocks followed. The voice went on.
Did you talk to someone on the phone? Kev, I lost my phone in the woods. Whoever is out there and has my phone is not me. It's not me. It's not me.
It kept repeating.
It's not me. It's not me. It's not me.
I began feeling lightheaded. Fear is one thing, but this was a combination of anxiety, stress, and guilt. I tried to control my breaths, but to no avail. The cabin was spinning around me.
It's not me. It's not me. It's not me. It's not me. It's not me. It's not me.
Shut up! Shut up! And it did. Silence followed. I pulled out the list again and started reading and rereading the rules, like a lunatic. I kept listening for noises from outside. The wind was still going. Good. No dead blue. Then I heard a loud thud from the wall. Another followed, and another. It sounded like footsteps. They moved to the roof of the cabin. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. Whatever was out there was now climbing around my cabin. I could hear the scratching sound. I started to cry and covered my mouth with my hand. I just wanted my dad. I wish I could see his face again. The universe somehow ironically responded because my dad's face suddenly appeared at one of the windows. He raised his hand and knocked. I stared at him through my eyebrows, my head tilted, scarcely breathing. I remained still. He kept knocking. That wasn't my dad. The cabin was tied to a tree, around 10 meters off the ground. He could not be at the window. The creature knocked and knocked, and for what seemed like an eternity, we just made eye contact. Blood dripped from one of its nostrils. Another phone call broke my trance.
Kevin, are you there? Are you in the cabin?
Yes, and the thing looks like you, and it's at the window.
I'm coming right now. I'll shoot it. Don't worry. I'm just about to turn a corner.
Dad, I'm really scared for you.
Martin's coming too. It's okay.
Truly, in a few minutes, Martin's car pulled up. I cried in relief. The thing turned its head to look, then back to me. It opened its mouth wide and, using its fingers, pulled the corners upward to form a smile. Then it leaped into the woods, into the darkness. Gunshots followed. After a few minutes, I called my dad. He picked up. "Where are you?" I asked.
I'm coming to get you.
I saw him walk toward the cabin, then heard him climbing the stairs. I unlocked the trapdoor and hugged him tight. What was that? Please tell me we're going home.
We are.
I'm so sorry. I should have never put you through this. Come on. As we walked toward our car, my blood ran cold. It wasn't something I'd seen or heard, but the opposite. See, the wind had stopped. The crickets had stopped. Dead blue. I sprinted to the car, jumped to the driver's seat, and locked the doors. My dad stood in front of the car, confused. That's when I got a text, and I hit the gas. I ran him over, then turned the car around and sped off into the night. I barely knew how to handle it, since I didn't have my license, but I left as fast as possible. Behind me, a car followed. When I reached the nearest checkpoint, I stopped. The car was Martin's. He got out, alone. "Where's my dad?" I asked. "He took an ATV to get you. Said he'd get there faster." I texted him to turn around and that you were safe. The text he'd sent me: "Martin and I split up. He may get there faster than me, and if he does, he'll text me to turn and head to the checkpoint. There is no one with Martin. He's alone." I thought I'd unlocked the trapdoor to my dad, when in fact he'd taken ATV and turned toward the checkpoint. The thing I ran over wasn't my dad. I had known it since the moment I felt the unnerving silence. However, no one at the checkpoint had seen my father. As I'm typing this, I'm afraid for him, but a part of me knows he's alive. Maybe he took another route or got lost. Whatever happened, I'll find him. I work at a crappy home improvement retail store when I was a teenager. I usually started my shift after my college classes. It was just part-time, so I normally work 4 to 8 p.m. Sometimes, though, the hours shifted a little and I'd have to stay until close, like 10 p.m. Anyway, on one of those late evenings, there was this redhead who worked the registers. Sometimes the cashiers had to carry all the stuff customers changed their minds about buying and put it back on the shelves late into the night. By that time, the store was usually almost deserted. She came to my department, which was located near the back, and asked me straight up if I could escort her while she finished restocking the merch. Being the idiot white knight that I was, I agreed. I asked her why she needed me to come along. She said this much older guy, late 40s, had been following her around the store and flirting with her since she'd started her shift in the morning. That meant 6 or 7 times in a single 9 to 10 hour shift. We technically had security, and she had reported the guy, but our 2 guards were useless sacks of though who somehow couldn't find him, despite the fact that he kept coming back to harass her. So, I followed her around while she put her stuff back. As I was making small talk, I noticed this guy half hidden between an end cap and the lumber storage. He looked just like she'd describe. Older, but built like a tank and a few inches taller than me. I'm 5'11". We made eye contact, and he stared at me like I was having an affair with his wife or something. Trembling, crazy-eyed, just like in the movies. This dude would have absolutely destroyed me. The store was nearly closed, with only a skeleton crew scattered across the massive floor. Somehow, I worked up the courage to say, "Can I help you, sir? We're just about closing here." In the most assertive way my 18-year-old self could manage. Somehow, That was enough. She scurried off. The girl gave me a nervous smile. Like, that was him, wasn't it? By the time my shift ended and I went to my car, there were only a handful of vehicles left, all parked in employee stalls except one, sitting alone at the far end of the lot. I couldn't tell if anyone was inside, but there shouldn't have been any customers left by then. The next day, the redhead told me the guy had tried to follow her home, but she managed to lose him by turning onto a side road at the last second. She quit shortly after. Couldn't blame her, given the useless security. And I never saw either her or that guy again. I wish I could at least remember her name, but that's been a long time. We live in a small enough city that this kind of thing was pretty rare, so he must have been from out of town. I work in hospital pharmacy, and let me tell you, every hospital is haunted. One time, I was removing medications from a closed ICU unit. We shuffle stuff around so it doesn't go to waste. When the fluorescent light at the door of the last room started flickering. This isn't totally unusual. Maintenance is hard to keep up with, but it was 3 a.m. and I was already jumpy. So, I kept one eye on the flickering light, ready to get the fuck out, when I swear to God, I saw a person standing on the other side of the bed, between the hospital bed and the window, backlit by the parking lot lights and thrown into the shadow by the flickering bulb. I left that unit with a quickness. Also, the operating rooms are always creepy. I've got another story from there.